I want to take a moment to begin this video and talk about this struggle we're having with this channel. It's really kind of the way that gun channels are interacting with Google and YouTube is affecting us, and it's affecting our ability to be able to produce content. So I want to take a moment and just ask you support us on Patreon, where a lot of the content we can't put here is going, and it supports this ministry. I have argued for the past several years, if not over a decade, in my opinion, sounding the alarm on what I believe to be by far the biggest threat to the Second Amendment, and that's red flag laws. If federal red flag laws are passed, there is no Second Amendment. It's just, you might as well just wad it up and throw it in the garbage because it doesn't exist anymore. Because what federal red flag laws do, or really state red flag laws or county red flag laws or city red flag laws, whatever the case may be, is it gives anybody in that region, country, county, state, whatever, the freedom to take your guns, just take them without due process, because somebody has deemed you dangerous, that for whatever reason, you are dangerous. Now, I say this is the biggest threat to the Second Amendment because if you need to be reminded that Germany had some of the freest gun laws, and then the Nazis passed red flag laws, deemed the Jews dangerous, took all their guns, and well, we saw how all that played out. And anybody that was anti-Nazi had their guns taken because they were dangerous to their agenda. That's why it's dangerous, because if the federal government all of a sudden deems Jews dangerous, American Indians dangerous, Christians dangerous, whatever the case, anybody who's anti, whoever the president is dangerous, there is no Second Amendment. That's what the Second Amendment was written for, is to prevent those things from happening. And red flag laws just encourage them to happen and opens the door wide for them to happen. And I'm glad to say in this video that this isn't a video to strike fear, but encouragement to you that the great state of Missouri has recently written a bill and introduced a bill referred to as the Anti-Red Flag Seizure Act. And what this would do, this House Bill 459 in the state of Missouri would illegalize any red flag laws, would immediately make any red flag laws in the state of Missouri illegal, whether it be city, county, state, or federal. Now, I think that's great. However, recently, 4 years ago, the state of Missouri passed the Second Amendment Preservation Act, which prevented any federal anti-Second Amendment efforts in the state of Missouri. It deemed them illegal and would prevent those people from working in the state of Missouri if they were to do that. And if you were a cop and you did something anti-Second Amendment in the state of Missouri, you lost your job, maybe went to prison. But, of course, the federal courts said that you can't do that in Missouri, and that's no longer a thing. So will this actually prevail over any sort of federal red flag laws? Doubt it. But at least it's kind of another barrier, so to say, another wall that has to be climbed in order to throw all those red flags on the citizens of Missouri. And so I'm really glad to hear that House Bill 459 has been introduced. I'm certain it'll be passed. This isn't the first of its kind. There's one in Utah like this. There's a few others. If you have states or counties passing these anti-red flag laws, put it in the comments below, because my fear, again, is federal red flag laws. You pass federal red flag laws, there is no more Second Amendment, and the current nominee for the Justice Department likes the idea of federal red flag laws, and the current presidential nominee who gets sworn in on Tuesday also likes red flag laws. And these aren't my words. These are the words straight from their own lips. YouTube it, watch it yourself. Because I'm not anti anybody at all or any, it's just I'm anti red flag laws. That's what I'm anti. So don't hate on me because I'm saying your favorite candidate or your favorite president might, not be perfect. What I'm saying is I'm anti-red flag laws, and anybody standing up against the Second Amendment, whether it's your favorite politician or my favorite politician, or maybe it's the same person, I don't like that person anymore, and they have to go. If they try to pass red flag laws, they have to go. That's anti-Second Amendment. I'm very pro-Second Amendment. So again, that's why I led this video with, I believe the biggest threat to the Second Amendment is federal red flag laws. If they're passed, there is no more Second Amendment. So I'm glad to see the state of Missouri at least putting down some barriers, so to say. I don't think they'll stay if for some reason federal red flag laws are passed. I honestly don't think they'll be successful because I'd like to hope that the Supreme Court would shut that craziness down, but so far they have not when it comes to local red flag laws. So I feel like it's necessary to get these words out and get these sort of messages out. So any thoughts or insight on any of that, definitely put it below. But state of Missouri introduces bill, Anti-Red Flag Seizure Act. There needs to be more of this, in my opinion, and less of the talk about how I like red flag laws or I like take the guns first and then due process. There needs to be less of that talk, a lot less of it. And I think if you're pro-Second Amendment, you need to put people aside and just focus on the Constitution and what does it say. And red flag laws just cancel out that Constitution, in my opinion. Because once you get rid of the Second Amendment, then it's all up for grabs. Who's going to stop it? Who's going to stop it? Because if you try to stop it, well, guess what? Now you're a threat. And now they're going to seize your guns. That's how it all plays out, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, we've seen this in history. In the first time, the federal government did it to the American Indians, and we saw how that played out. Germany did it to the Jews. We saw how that played out. China did it to its citizens. We saw how that played out. So, I'm not really sure what else to say other than be on your guard and be willing to drop folks that are your favorites if they're trying to wad up that Second Amendment and throw it away by passing federal red flag laws. We just need to be more pro-Constitution than pro-people. Pro-God than pro-people. So there you go. Any thoughts or insight? I'm sure I've ruffled a lot of feathers here, but hey, I'm pro-Second Amendment. If you are too, then you'll not be ruffled. Any thoughts or insight? Put that below. Do you want to take a moment and say most people watch the channel, hey, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. Greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is below. But most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.